Bum, 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 bum. All right. I think they were golden. Let me double check the stream health. I'm not seeing audio on YouTube, which is an issue. Is the game like quiet or muted? Hopefully not. Let some folks join in. No, it's a bit late, but well, I guess I am living up to my channel name. Whew. Hey, we've already got some folks joining. Good, good, good. Windows Sonoma? Hello there. Just playing some Warzone with my friend. My question is going to be, which Warzone? Halo 5 Warzone or Warzone? The Celtic Magician? That's actually a really good name. The Celtic Magician. There's Loan Me a Smile, Imperial Guard, Gary the Neutral, oh, wait, I already said that one. Don Dougal. Stevie Wonder's Tricycle is pretty good as well. So is My Ghost and Me. All right, you know what? Everyone's just got pretty good names. Okay, it is muted then for you guys. I know how to fix that. Believe it or not, I do know how to fix it. There we go. Perfect, right? The days of consistently poor audio on a stream are over. Hey! Loan Me a Smile just gifted a late night gaming membership to Stevie Wonder's Tricycle. That's nice of you. Now Stevie Wonder's Tricycle can make use of the great emotes. It's been a while, says Loan Me a Smile. It has. Wind OS. Gotcha. Warzone Firefight. Okay, alright. Cool. God. If Halo 5 was on PC, that could have also been an option. We could have hopped into like one of the lesser populated playlists on Halo 5. But for now, I guess we'll stick with MCC. I wish I had Halo PC. Or I wish I had just a PC. Well, thankfully, with the MCC, we don't have to worry about that, because there is crossplay. So, and I am going to be using a controller and searching in controller as the preferred input device, because I know not everybody has PC and wants to be like having to deal with me rotating 180 degrees in 1 second from a single mouse flick. Here, let me share. Let me share that quickly to Blueski and probably Twitter. Attention, all Halo fans. Hop on MCC. Let's revive some dead playlists. Halo 2 Anniversary? Yeah, that's, okay, so we got a couple options, fellas. Combat Evolved Big Team Battle is dead. Halo 2 Big Team Battle is sort of dead. Like, it's not as bad as Combat Evolved, but, you know, it's sometimes... It takes a little while to find a game. Halo 3 is completely fine in every playlist, so we will not be playing Halo 3 tonight. Halo 4, that little boy also needs a little bit of an assistance. Halo 2 Anniversary, sort of. I think Halo 2 Anniversary Big Team Battle, maybe, would be a problem area. Love the Halo 2 main menu background. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I had Combat Evolved as my main menu for the longest time. But when I was done with Combat Evolved, the editing portion of the evolution of Halo's pistol, I made sure to switch over to the Halo 2 main menu. That way, every time I booted up the game, I could, get into the atmosphere, get into the spirit of Halo 2. So I'm probably going to switch it over to the Halo 3 main menu because I'm gearing up now to start editing the Halo 3 portion, and I'll probably do the same for all the games. Yar, matey, what be your favorite Halo game? I don't know why are we doing the pirate voice? Bro dead named X. Look, I'm not like, if you unironically call Twitter X, like that's like bullyable shit, you know? That's like, you probably should be shoved into a locker type shit. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm not calling it X. It's like the people that insist that Arbiter should be called Thel Vadamy, because that's his name. And it's like you're out of your mind if you think I'm gonna call the Arbiter Blargy McAlien Blargface. Like, he's the Arbiter. Shut up. Oh, let's take a look at some of my, I actually don't run, like, custom skins on, because I've gotten into a habit of doing that because of my, evolution videos. Like, it's inconvenient to load into a Halo 3 custom map, see that I've got all these wacky skins on, as well as, like, different armor sets and stuff, and be like, crap, and then I have to back out, disable the skins and stuff, and then reload back into the match. So now, just out of habit, I never run custom stuff. I have all of that turned off by default. But I don't... It almost seems wrong now to re-enable them. I haven't seen MCC with custom skins in so long. Like, am I allowed to? God, I don't even know what I would do. Well, why am I looking at Halo 3? We're not exactly going to be playing Halo 3 Anniversary, are we? There is no Halo 3 Anniversary. I was working on a joke in my head. It just didn't pan out. Anyone who calls Twitter X should also be fed to brutes. Well, no. Like, you don't want to, like... The reason I say, like, being shoved into a locker is because, like, being fed to a brute seems like something that you reserve for, like, somebody who committed an abhorrent act. You know? Like, something unforgivable. Like, just an insane crime. Calling Twitter X is just lame. It's just so lame. Like, you need to, like, live with your shame. And, like, your punishment needs to be something that is, like, befitting of just how shameful it was that you called Twitter X. Thus, you know, shoving you into a locker. We'll do that. It's tough to decide what skins are good in Halo 2 Anniversary, just because, like, none of them actually look like this when you load into a match, because this is rendered in Unreal Engine 4, so, like, all the and it's not even, like, a great... It's a pretty, like, rushed render, so, like, none of the materials are correct, none of the lighting is correct. You guys are starting to smell like politics. I hate to say it, Thomas, but the world is politics. You are breathing it as we speak. Early day gaming, Halo MCC is looking to make its way to PlayStation soon. Do you think future mainline entries will be day one on PlayStation as well? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Going forward, just Xbox is a multi-platform publisher that also happens to release consoles, but it seems like even their console now, you're going to be able to load up Steam on future Xbox systems. So it's just like it really does seem like now Xbox is becoming more of a service platform, kind of like the Epic Games launcher, GeForce Now, like those kind of things. And future Xboxes will just be like peripherals that you can play PC games on. Sort of like, well, I guess like the Steam Deck. Hey, Mr. Nowhere! LNG, can you shove me in a locker? LNG can shove me in a locker anytime. I wish I could play with y'all, but I work for 2 more hours, so keep me company while I clean. Mr. Nowhere, I would be honored to keep you company while you clean. Thank you so much for the $50, dude. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I would never dream of ever shoving you into a locker. You're too precious. You're too wonderful. These are wacky enough. I think we're good, right? Okay, we gotta think of a playlist to hop into. Wait, he's married now. Thomas says, "Shove me in a locker, late night daddy." Wait, he's married now. My wife just gave no response. Ah, no, is it a game night? I don't have Xbox Live. Ah, man. Ah, my wife is joining in on the silliness. Here, let me go share the link quickly to Twitter so we can get some of those folk in here as well. We're gonna do it, guys. We're gonna try to revive some dead playlists, and hopefully after the stream, the playlists stay, active for a while. Okay. I forgot my Twitter sign-in stuff, so my laptop is basically a dedicated Twitter thing, and I just cannot be bothered to do a password reset, so... okay. Got the laptop. Battery is low on it, so I have like 3 minutes. So let's see if I can do this. There it is. Okay, copy. Paste. What am I gonna type? What you laughing at? Everyone's going crazy? Come join. Let's revive some dead MCC playlists. I love you. We need all players. All right, there we go. Link shared. That power of drink? The power of drink is right there. What are your Halo hot takes? I don't think I have a lot of hot takes anymore. Like when I was younger, like probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago or whatever, I think I would have said some pretty dumb shit. But here, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna start off our revival with Halo 2 Anniversary Big Team Battle. So here are all the playlists I've got selected. Let's do this. Yeah, man, hot takes. Because I don't think, like, the Halo community is so diverse in their opinions now on, like, who prefers what style of game, who prefers what. Yeah. Hard to say. Trying to think of hot takes. The only one that I could even remotely consider a hot take, because it would get some Twitter folk angry, is that I think Halo is more fun when the assault rifle is a close-range weapon, and it should not be useful at medium or semi-long range. That's the only thing I can think of, is that, yes, the battle rifle should be better than the assault rifle in all ranges. Because it is a weapon you find on the map. The assault rifle, the weapon you spawn with, should not be that good. And then the reason that for ranked matches you start out with the battle rifle is because it's not a social experience. You're cutting out the fun of finding the better gun, and you're getting straight to the point. Everybody spawns with the better gun. That way it's just immediately get to the gunfights. But when every gun is the good gun, then everything feels super sweaty, which is why Halo 5 and MCC feel Halo 5 and Halo Infinite feel extremely sweaty. Because the assault rifle is just too powerful. That's probably a hot take. Trying to think of some other crazy opinions. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, you know, maybe a hot take that I have is that Halo's story should not be taken so seriously, and that Halo is a better setting than it is a continuous ongoing story. The original trilogy was the best story about the Master Chief that you could have told in a game as an ongoing story. After that, what is more fun about Halo is exploring the setting, telling different stories within the setting. Not, you know, like, oh my god, the Didact is here, the mantle of reclamation, of warrior, like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's like Covenant War as the main thing to get everybody into Halo, and then after that, take the Halo Legends approach. Start telling stories set within the Halo universe. There doesn't need to be a time. You know, a specific time. It can be in the past, it can be in the future. And hey, if those stories are super popular, make sequels to those stories. But like, as far as like, the main universe needs to advance forward, like, nobody cares. That's the worst way to do Halo, at least to me. I've got Bumper Jumper on, I think. Or not Bumper Jumper, Recon. That's interesting. Okay. LNG, this is an ice cold take. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think I have hot takes. Like, my takes are extremely, extremely room temperature now. Like, probably the spiciest of my takes would only be, like, related to mobility, movement, and the range of the assault rifle. And the reason I can't share them here is because I'd be preaching to the choir. You know, a lot of my audience feels similarly, so it would just become an echo chamber. I wouldn't hear people that are genuinely like, nah, you crazy, dude. Let's see if I can get this guy. What was that guy doing? I feel bad whenever it's like a subscriber who recognizes me, and so they're not trying to kill me, and they're just like teabagging and jumping up and down and trying to get my attention. Well, cause I'm in like, we gotta kill the enemy team mode, and they're like in I gotta get his attention mode. Yeah, and like I want to do like a temporary truce when I see that, you know? I think my hot take is that Reach is the worst Bungie-era Halo game. Yeah, I guess maybe that could be a hot take. I don't know if I... Like, I know probably why you're going to say that, and I can understand why you reached that conclusion. I don't know if I agree with it, though. Just because I think, like, as a package, Reach is probably the weakest... This is going to sound... Okay, you guys want a hot take? The weakest one from Bungie was ODST. And I will now explain why. It's purely about the price tag and what you got for buying the game. Because ODST was, you know, by Bungie's own admission, supposed to be DLC for Halo 3 that they were then forced to turn into a $60 game. And it feels like that. Like, the campaign is great and everything, but for $60, like, if you look at what Reach gave you for $60 versus what ODST gave you, or even Halo 3, like, they're just... Like, it's, you know, it's like not, it's not there, man. And ODST is one of my favorite Halo games, by the way. That's not me saying I don't like ODST. That's me saying in terms of, like, value being given for your purchase, ODST was the weakest of the Bungie games. And even that's, like, tough to say because it wasn't even like Bungie's fault. Because like if you were to get like somebody an Xbox 360 as a present and you were going to get them a game that was going to blow their minds, it would probably be Reach, right? Because you've got the multiplayer, Forge mode, custom games, theater mode, like weekly and daily challenges, like that whole unlock system, like the customization, like there is so much value in that game that that kid would never leave his Xbox. Versus ODST, where it's like you beat the campaign, and the campaign's really good, get some achievements in it, but then you hop into like Firefight. Which Firefight is good, by the way, but... Well, I guess then, you know, you could say, well, he's got access to Halo 3 multiplayer, which is... True, I guess if the kid doesn't own Halo 3, then ODST probably has more value there. If we count the Mythic disc from Halo 3 as being part of ODST. Just popped in. Are we all queuing Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer tonight? If so, I am so down. Currently, we are all searching Big Team Battle Halo 2 Anniversary. And don't worry about getting in a game with me. Look, there, right there. That's what I wanted to avoid doing. That guy started to teabag because he was trying to get my attention. And then I blasted him in the face with a shotgun by accident. Huh? Yeah, like he's like being nice. And then I repay his kindness with bullets. Yeah. Yeah, like if... Like, I usually let them end up... Like, if they are, like, teabagging for a second and then they just start shooting at me, I usually just let them kill me out of, like, friendliness. Like, I see you. I recognize you. Yes, you can kill me. I am that guy. Yeah, so guys, don't worry about getting into the game with me. The goal is not... This isn't, like, a game night. Our goal is a gift to the Halo community. We are trying to populate these dead playlists. So hopefully there's somebody who got off work tonight and they hopped on MCC and they're like, I'll try. I'm not going to find a match, but I'll try. And for no reason at all, their favorite obscure playlist, like Halo 2 Anniversary Big Team Battle, is full of players and they can't explain why. Like, that's our goal tonight, is to just flood these random playlists with players. That way those who are playing are having a really good time and really fast matchmaking times. So Halo 2 Anniversary, Big Team Battle, that's the one we're currently doing. Steam or Windows Halo? It doesn't matter because of crossplay. Reach was the first Bungie-era game, was the worst Bungie-era game. That is a completely understandable opinion. It was the first Halo where we lost features and didn't gain any great features. Armor abilities are less than dual wielding. See, I couldn't even, like, agree there because... So the way that I see things, I guess, is what were we exchanged? Like, what was the exchange? You know, what did we gain in return? So it's like the loss of dual wielding... Okay, what you gained was armor abilities, and what I see are custom games value. Like, the jetpack is incredible for custom games purposes, as well as, like, the fantasy of invasion, where it's like you can have, like, different combat roles depending on what the loadout was. Like, that's the value that I see, where it's like, okay, I prefer dual wielding over armor abilities, but armor abilities did... there was an exchange, you know? There was value added rather than just subtracted. And then I think of, like, Firefight custom games, theater mode campaign being able to rewind, which was crazy. Because that still sucks on the MCC that for Halo 3 theater clips in campaign, you can't rewind. So if, like, I did a cool thing, but it was at the end of a level... I have to start that theater mode clip in the campaign from the beginning and fast forward the whole mission till I get to that, like, 8 seconds at the end that I need. In Reach, and by the way, if I didn't get the correct camera angle, I have to restart the whole clip again because I can't rewind. I have one shot to get the take that I need. Where with Reach, I can just rewind if I messed up my shot. So, like, that's value. Damn it, he got me first. LNG, would you say Halo 3 or Halo Reach was a better time for Halo? Reach was a good time for Halo, I think, in terms of the community togetherness. I don't think it was quite ever as big as it was during Reach. Like, Reach as Bungie's send-off game was the ultimate community-driven Halo game. But I do think in terms of, like, the broader Halo experience, Halo 3 was probably a healthier time because that's when Halo esports was thriving. Halo didn't... Like, Call of Duty 4 came out of nowhere, and people were still needing to warm up to Call of Duty, you know? Do you remember, What was it called? Cock of Duty? Modern Gay Fuck Stupid? That's what people called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? There were, like, so many fan wars about Halo 3 versus Call of Duty because it was so, like, new. But then, by the time of Reach, Call of Duty had established itself as the giant, like, okay, you know, Halo's in trouble. Congrats on almost 200,000 subscribers. Thank you. My goal this year is to finally pass that number. I've been at that number for a while. Oh. I have been verbally flashbanged. It's like from Mary Poppins, like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Where it's such an insane combination of syllables that, like, I don't remember a lot of things that I'm told, but Cock of Duty, Modern Gay Fuck Stupid, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that till the day I die. The COD versus Halo versus Battlefield era is so cringe looking back on it now. I miss it. I miss it. I mean, Battlefield I don't think was ever a serious competitor between... like, Battlefield... Like, Halo and Call of Duty back on the Xbox 360 were, like, flinging food at each other in a cafeteria. Battlefield was, like... running around trying to eat the scraps that fell off the table from this massive food fight between these two juggernauts. And that's not to say Battlefield wasn't, like, good. That's just to say that, like, Battlefield was not nearly as popular as those other two. Which kind of sucks, because then, like, you know, EA wanted Battlefield to be up there. And I don't think that that's where Battlefield belongs. I think Battlefield works best, actually, as this... as kind of like the kid who eats the scraps that fell off the table, you know? Because there are folk that don't like the arcadiness of Call of Duty or the sci-fi-ness of Halo. And so they want, like, kind of a grounded military shooter, but not one that's, like, a straight-up mil sim. And that's kind of what Battlefield provided. It was like Call of Duty if it took itself 25% more seriously. Did you read any of Herada's tweets about game development? Who's Herada? Was that the ex-Battlefield dude? Because I did see some like potentially concerning things about the next Battlefield. What is Big Team Battle? Big Team Battle is 8 versus 8. So it's like if you think of like Slayer and stuff, Big Team Battle is just big teams and they battle. In Halo Infinite, it's called Squad Battle.
Protect your flag.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, Big Team Battle, the fun of Big Team Battle usually is that there's more players, so you're gonna find more, like, room to breathe. Because everyone's spread out over these larger maps. There's a heavier focus on vehicles and combined infantry. So it's kind of like Big Team Battle is like the Halo sandbox firing on all cylinders. Like, everything is working versus just, you know, 4v4 where it's like sometimes there's a vehicle, sometimes there isn't. I typically do the PvE objectives like Spartan Ops. Gotcha. Yeah, Spartan Ops is pretty, like, oh, man, like, this really sucks about the MCC version of Spartan Ops. Spartan Ops had matchmaking back on the 360 for Halo 4. So for all of Spartan Ops' issues, the players who did enjoy Spartan Ops, they had a way to find each other. Unfortunately, on MCC, there is no matchmaking. So Spartan Ops is just permanently, like, locked away. I'm still waiting for a match, so I've been drawing and listening to Halo music. Yeah, just keep matchmaking. Eventually, you're going to start loading in with other players, and you've done your part. You've helped. Because it's not a game night. What we're trying to do is inject more players into different playlists. And hey, if you do enjoy this, and we hop over to another playlist that you're not as interested in, keep the momentum going. Keep playing, you know? Maybe we should organize other YouTubers to do this. Like a day of reviving the MCC by playing weird dead playlists. LNG, what do you think about Halo Spartan Assault and Spartan Strike? Spartan Assault, I think, is a genuinely great game. I think it's great. I think as a top-down shooter for the mobile phone, it is exceptionally well done. The fact that they were able to take the Halo combat loop and translate it into a top-down twin-stick shooter, like, beautiful. And the icing on the cake is all the weird, obscure sounds that they decided to use. Like, it sounds like Halo. You know, the grunts do their, you know, dying sound. The plasma pistol sounds exactly like it should sound. Like, it's just perfect, you know? And I think that the missions are short enough that it can be a great time killer. Spartan Assault's great. And then Spartan Strike, for the longest time, I did not want anything to do with it because I hate new. I hate new, which later in life I found out might just be the autism, to be honest. So I forced myself to give Spartan Assault a chance on the Steam Deck. And you know what? It's also pretty good. I don't have to have played 3 levels and just declared it to be worse than Spartan Assault because it was new and different. And the music they remixed so it sounds slightly different, and I don't like that. Nope, Spartan Strike is pretty good. And Spartan Strike is actually cool if you're like a fan of Halo 4, because Spartan Strike includes the Prometheans. So it's interesting to see how that game takes the Promethean combat loop and translates it, you know, into a twin-stick shooter. And in fact, there's some things that Spartan Strike does with the Prometheans that I really, really wish were actually, like, done with the first-person shooter games that had them. Like, just the way that the weapons work, the way that the enemies react to you. It's actually, like, if I ever learn how to do Halo 4 modding, like, I would probably do a lot of the things Spartan Strike does with them.
Territory under attack. Territory under attack.
Hopefully the PS5 port gives MCC additional development, fix the missing things. Man, my biggest worry is just because of their track record with porting these games to different systems, I'm worried that more shit is going to break, and then it's just not going to be fixed, and then they're going to move on. That's my concern. Because there's still a lot that, like, don't get me wrong, this is great what I'm doing here. I'm playing MCC on my PC at a field of view of my choice with players who are on the console. Like, this is so awesome and cool. They did a great job, but there is still work that needed to be done, you know? Like, the job wasn't finished. Oh boy. Territory under attack. Was it like a super, super loud territory under attack? I know that happens sometimes. It's like one of those bugs where you're just like chilling, you're vibing, and then for some reason Jeff Steitzer's audio cue is like way too loud, so it's just like, territory under attack! And your ears get blown out. Well, LNG, think of it like this. You're better than 99% of game journalists who play one level and criticize the game for being too hard, like the Cuphead journalist. Come on. That's not fair, because that was one instance. And the fact that, like, in the decades since that happened, it's still the only example people can give means that, like, it's not actually that bad.
Territory lost.
Like, don't get me wrong, there is, like, kind of an out-of-touchedness to some game journalists, but it's also not nearly that bad. That scared the hell out of me. Sorry, Mr. Nowhere. Evening. Been mulling over Spartan Laser since You're ranking in a mess gas. How would you incorporate this Master Chief's BFG into the Halo sandbox? You know, so I've been on this Sonic binge lately. I've been trying to teach myself speedrunning tricks in Sonic Frontiers, which, like, after learning of the homing dash, suddenly now cyberspace is a lot more enjoyable. But I was also playing the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and in that game, Shadow can get, like, a tiny little walker thing. Like, a tiny one, okay? This isn't, like, a big mech that he gets into. It's, like, it makes him a foot taller. It's just, like, kind of like an exoskeleton-like thing that he can use to jump really high. And maybe the Spartan laser, what could be cool is it is, like, kind of an exoskeleton-y thing that you step into. And kind of, like, think of, like, the prototype Spartan armor, the giant, like, not giant, you know, like the beefy Gundam-looking Spartan armor. What if it's like that? Like, it looks like a rig that's just out in the open, and your Spartan steps on it, and it kind of assembles itself onto your armor. And from there, you go into third person, and you've got, like, a Spartan laser. And it operates kind of like a vehicle. Like, if you're done running, or maybe not running, you know, but stomping around with this prototype suit, then you can just hold the interact button and the armor will open up and spit you back out. Almost like Fallout's power armor, the way that that operates. Fallout 4 specifically. Like, maybe that could be kind of like the Spartan laser. Have it be more of like a situational use thing where you have to kind of like give up a lot of mobility, and it's almost like hopping into a vehicle, kind of. Well, if you want to see a bad journalist sense, look at the guy who was reviewing Doom Eternal for, I think, IGN. It's been so long that I can't remember. What rank did IGN give Doom Eternal? I thought they liked it. I'll tell you what, a pretty bad. I used to be super into Jim Sterling, but I stopped watching him because I started to get, like, really tired of kind of like the repetition of the like got it, publisher's greedy, everything sucks, everything's bad, games are bad, you're bad, gamers are bad. I started to get kind of like exhausted by that, and I recently looked up Jim Sterling again just to see what's going on, if he's still doing the Jimquisition and stuff. And on his website he had a review of Sonic Frontiers, and it was like the meanest, mean-spirited, nasty, like, it wasn't a review. There was no review. It was just pointless shit-talking without even trying to meet the game on its level, trying to engage with the game on what it was trying to do. And then I looked at his Tears of the Kingdom review, and it was like the same thing. Like, he was, like, really nasty about it. Like, Breath of the Wild, he gave, like, a 6 out of 10 or something, 7 out of 10, I can't remember. Which is fine, by the way. That's fine. You know, he's allowed to think that if he didn't like the game. Or not even didn't like the game. 7 out of 10 is great. But he then just copy and pasted his review of Breath of the Wild, and he had this nasty, like, if Nintendo refuses to change things that were criticized, then I refuse to change my rating. Tears of the Kingdom is also a 7 out of 10. It's like, fuck you, dude. Halo 5 seems pretty active on weekends for me. Yeah, weekends would probably be the best time to play. Is Halo 5 done for? No, Halo 5's not done for. It'll always be like Halo 5 where it sits right now as a game. 343 left it in a very good place because it's now basically in the community's hands. Like, the only playlists you can search for are the ones that people really, really like. You know, like Castle Wars, Warzone, Like, they removed a lot of the kind of, like, less popular playlists. So you'll always find matches. The custom browser is still there. So you'll be guaranteed to find matches there. It's just and the Forge is, like, so, you know, the Forge is so in-depth that there is enough there to where, kind of similar to Reach, the Halo 5 community can support themselves until the servers shut down in the future. And I doubt that that would happen in the next, like, 5 years or so. Because I think upkeep on, like, Halo 5 servers are probably a lot easier to do than, like, the way that the 360 servers were done, where I think they were, like, literally physical servers that were in a building and had to be, like, plugged in like a laptop or something. You know, with Halo 5, there's probably a little bit more, like, cloud stuff going on that ensures it'll be easier to keep the servers up for that game for longer. Something, Jim became what Jim hated. Yeah, it's not enough for me to get, like, super riled up about, but it is kind of like Jim Sterling just sort of became like a whiner, I guess. That's the vibe that I get. Like, I mean, I think Breath of the Wild is a better game than Tears of the Kingdom. My reason isn't just being talk shit on it. Yeah, what Jim got really, really, really hung up on was he didn't like that weapons break. And he did not like that the Master Sword broke. And that was it. That was the end of it. Like, he heard the explanation from the developers that they had to do the weapon breaking system because when they tried it without weapons breaking, just nothing motivated the player to explore. Like, nothing motivated the player to engage with the world because you find what you like, you stick with it, and it never goes away. He just, like, he could not move on from that. He wanted it removed anyways. It was like, bro, if they removed it, you'd complain that the game was boring. That's what I mean by, like, the game sets out its rules and how it wants you to play, and he's like, but I don't want to play it like that. So the game is bad. Jim Sterling goes by they and she. Gotcha. Okay. I think I missed a super chat. Oh, no. We're good. What's your opinion on Tom Hulkenberg's music for the Sonic movie trilogy? Is that his name? So, Sonic 1 and 2, I don't think they were, they were, fine music scores, but they were not very good Sonic scores. Not very good at all. It was sort of like what the Halo TV show was, but for Sonic, you know, because Halo's known for good music, Sonic's known for good music, and the Halo show went out of its way to use no Halo music. And same with those Sonic movies. Outside of, like, very, very half-assed references to, like, Green Hill's melody. But Sonic Movie 3, holy shit, like, I was overwhelmed at times, because I was like, what, they can't, like, they're using Live and Learn? What's going on? And then they're using freaking Eggman's Sonic 06 theme when the Ark is rising up into the atmosphere. I'm like, I can't date. Halo told me this is illegal. Why are they using game music? Junkie XL. Okay, Tom, aka Tom. Gotcha. Your proposal is intriguing. Kind of reminds me of how the Mantis operates, just smaller scale. Speaking of, didn't Halo 5 have a Mantis with a Splazer? Yeah, I think it wasn't it like the Hannibal Mantis or something like that? The weapon variants, I wish were a little bit more ambitious than just, like, assault rifle with extended magazine. Like, I wish that they did more stuff kind of like Halo Infinite with the Avenger, where it fills a completely different combat role, despite being built off of the assault rifle. But Halo 5's vehicle variants I actually thought were really cool, and it's a shame now that we'll never see them again because of vehicle skins. Like, why add an Arctic Warthog when you can just make that a skin? That was Eggman's SA2 theme, not 06. No. The SA2 theme played on the phone for like a second. You know, like the I am the Eggman. That's what I am. Like, that played on his phone for like a hot second. What I'm talking about is the ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-ba-ba-bum, bum. You know, like the bombastic, like, I'm the bad guy, I have come to do bad things orchestral theme that they made for Eggman in Sonic 06. Like, they used that in the Sonic movie 3, and it, like, I could not believe my ears that they were actually using that song. You know, in, like, Sonic 06, out of, like, most of the Sonic games, Sonic 06's soundtrack is probably the one that could seamlessly be slipped right into a movie and you wouldn't notice because of how cinematic its score is. And it, like, I was absolutely validated by Sonic Movie 3 hearing Eggman's theme from that game. And it just, like, it fit. It was perfect. It was perfect. And I'm not saying that as a Sonic fan, I'm saying that as a guy who likes editing. It was like, yep, that's kind of like the type of music I would choose for this scene in any movie. It is a villain's evil spaceship taking off. The world is doomed theme. Did that theme even appear anywhere after Colors? Let me think. Yeah, because it was in Unleashed, then it was in Colors. Generations? Yeah, Generations, I think. I think it was, didn't it play in the cutscene where Eggman was revealed to be behind the Time Eater? And he's like, you know, I had some help, and then classic Eggman popped out. And Tails is like, Dr. Robotnik! And then classic Eggman is like, nobody calls me that anymore. And then you as a player, you go, that's a funny reference. Because his name used to be Robotnik. Hannibal vehicles had gauze cannons, if I recall correctly. Also glad to hear that, as one who's yet to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3, that's SpongeBob exactly what we wanted me. Yeah, it's Andrew. I am very, very pleasantly surprised. Junkie XL completely turned it around with Sonic 3. Like, so what's really cool is he didn't use like All Hail Shadow, you know, or anything as Shadow's theme. What he actually used was Live and Learn, which at first that's like, well, why would he do that? Live and Learn is the theme song of Sonic Adventure 2. It's not Shadow's theme. Why wouldn't he use All Hail Shadow or I Am All of Me? I think the reason that they went with that wasn't actually just nostalgia stuff. I think the reason they did that is because they were trying to really hammer in the lyrics of the song. Like, Live and Learn. Just because of how relevant that is to Shadow's story. Of, like, suffering a tragedy and learning how to deal with the tragedy the right way and continuing to live. If you haven't seen Sonic 3, so I'm not going to talk about it. But when you do, I have so much to say about that movie. That movie is surprisingly heavy for a kid's movie. I am so happy with how they handled it. Damn, I wish I could talk passionately about Halo or Half-Life as LNG does for Sonic. I freaking love Sonic, man. Sonic's a cool little dude. And something that is also like a lot of fun, and it's something I am now learning to retroactively respect. So, you know, in the Sonic fandom, they call it the meta era, where Sonic, you know, you had Sonic 06, you had the Shadow the Hedgehog game, which people thought was cringy and they didn't like it. And so there was this period where Sonic became very meta as a property. Like, that's around the time where the Sonic Twitter account began doing memes, making fun of Sonic. That's where the games started to become more humor-focused. You've probably seen Sonic Boom clips on YouTube, where it's just like Sonic, for the longest time, became a very, like, we're not taking ourselves seriously. We know Sonic is, like, lame, man. And then because of that, people started liking Sonic again, because Sonic was constantly making fun of itself. Well, now, with Sonic Frontiers, Sonic is back to being, like, early 2000s, late 90s, like, cool and hip, you know? Like, in Sonic Movie 3, like, Shadow has a gun and rides a motorcycle. And there isn't an ounce of cynicism, and it's the coolest thing in the world. Like, it wasn't done for jokes, it was genuinely badass. The thing that people used to make fun of Sonic for. And there was this talk from, that Sega gave to, like, some of their investors, where they said that the strength of Sega properties is counterculture. And that they thrive best when they embrace counterculture. And so, in the 2010s, the counterculture was, like, fuck properties, you know, like, stop taking things so damn seriously. Like, I don't care about anything. Like, I laugh and mock everything. So the MCU began adopting the, like, your name's Dr. Octavius, like, making fun of itself constantly and not taking itself seriously. Sonic also began doing that. Like, it was just like, it was like that counterculture of that era, you know, kind of like people were tired of the Dark Knight, like, we take everything super gritty and seriously route. And so, as a bit of counterculture, people were really enjoying, like, stuff that didn't take itself very seriously. Well, now we're back to, like, it would just be cool if, like, you know, your property didn't seem embarrassed about its own existence. And so Sonic's back to doing that. And it's cool and badass. And the MCU seems lame and annoying and outdated, and it won't take anything it does seriously, which is frustrating. So now, like, Sonic Colors era, like, the meta era that the Sonic community used to hate, I now actually kind of respect it historically. Where, at the time, that was what was cool. Making fun of yourself and laughing at yourself. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I prefer Sonic Colors, okay? I am extremely happy that we're past, like, Baldy McNose hair type jokes. I like that, like, Kellen Quinn is making, like, Sonic songs. It's just something I thought about, and I had to verbalize it quickly. I actually hate it. I miss the sincerity, and I'm glad it's back. Yeah, I much prefer the sincerity. Like, seeing Shadow using a gun, like, you know, getting on the motorcycle, flipping that gun up into his hand, and then just being like, "Don't try to follow me." And then he speeds off on the motorcycle. I'm like, oh, this is so fucking cool. Like, I was so happy in the movie theater, dude. I, like, had to, like, try everything to not just, like, scream. Like, it was so goddamn overwhelming as a Sonic Adventure 2 fan. It was everything I could. Just God. I think it was better than the Mario movie. Like, the Mario movie was great, but it was like a Pixar animated movie, you know? Like, of course it was great. Like, they're following the traditional animated movie format. I don't think they would have ever done anything as bonkers as, like, some of the stuff that was in that Sonic movie 3. That was just like, I can't believe I'm seeing this in a movie theater. Too bad they couldn't show Maria getting shot, like in Shadow the Hedgehog. Well, it's a twofold situation. Number one, it's a kid's movie. You're not gonna see a little girl shot with a Glock. I'm sorry. But then it's also like, with the way that they did that story, turning Shadow's, like, turning it basically into a tragedy for everybody. You know, and not like an act of, like, you know, like, Shadow the Hedgehog's game story is more like conspiracy stuff. Like, Shadow was the victim of a conspiracy type story, you know, of like, the soldier, like, shut down the project, purge the staff. Where with the movie, it's more of, like, a tragic accident. And learning how to, like, just not be angry at the world for the tragedy that happened. Missed. Oh. Nowadays, they call that irony poisoning. Is that what they call it now? Like the MCU type, I'm just making fun of everything? Late night! Release a Sonic video and my life is yours! Says Mr. Link. I've been thinking, last night while I took a shower, I was talking to myself about how I'm going to get a Sonic video done. Because I have so many opinions about Sonic, and I don't know how I could condense them into a video that would be hyper scripted. And like heavily edited, because it would turn into like an all-year project if I wanted to do something like that. So maybe I'll just do like a rambly type video. It's just, if I wanted to get out everything that I feel about Sonic, it would be too long. It would take up too much time. Editing time, that is. Very gracious of you. It's a tradition for Mum and I to go watch the Sonic and Monsterverse films, and we want to watch the Knuckles show before seeing Sonic 3. Gotcha. That's actually very sweet. Cherished that tradition. My wife and I should watch the Monsterverse movies. Because the only one that I've seen is Godzilla, the American version, and then the sequel. And then that was it. I haven't seen any of the other ones. And the first American Godzilla movie I thought was fantastic. I don't remember it, though, because I've only seen it once. I just remember really, really liking it. And then the second one... There was like a three-headed dragon? And I remember not liking that one. But I was also like a cynical asshole. So I bet if I rewatched it, I might love it now. All I do remember is there was a three-headed dragon and Eleven from Stranger Things was in it, and she was terrible. Why is G-Man in your photos? Because Rebecca needed like a good photo of him for the stream, the Half-Life stream. And I guess I just like haven't deleted him yet. I love you. LNG, what caliber of bullet does the Magnum fire? The lethal caliber. I don't know. I don't know gun calibers. I mean, I guess what I do know is 50 caliber is typically like anti-tank, right? And that's what makes the Desert Eagle so badass as a pistol. is that it fires like an anti-tank round, right? I'm very worried about the Zelda movie, because Sony and that Marvel producer... Yeah, the Zelda movie, I'll be honest, I'm anxious about it. Because Sony is doing it. So it's like, from the producers of Madam Web, Morbius, and Kraven the Hunter, The Legend of Zelda. And it's gonna be like somebody weird and uncharismatic, like whoever they picked for Kraven. Dude, my wife told me all about, like, that Kraven actor, because I didn't know anything about him. Like, that dude has a wild spouse. Like, the drama about his wife is, like, really weird, and, like, the implications are extremely uncomfortable. Babe, what is it again? Who's Kraven the Hunter? Remember, she was the cougar. Yeah, Brian Taylor Johnson. Yeah, come give them the tea.
He was literally 17 when him and his wife met, and she was like 40. And like she groomed him, so she's like an old lady. And he's like, he's not. He's like 30 something now, and she's like looks like she's about to be put into a home. And all the girls online are like, free him from this old lady, because they're like, he's too hot. Like, they need Ariana Grande to get to him, because Ariana, like, takes married men. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the joke.
Yeah. Yeah, like, dog, what the hell?
Yeah, so if you just, like, if you Google his name and then you, like, scroll down and you see his wife, it's, like, a really creepy, like, story, and it's always in the news.
Like his creepy wife?
Well, I mean...
Is it, like, a thing only people online are talking about? Like the media just ignores that?
He's talked about it.
That he's...
It's that, like... Like, if you say, like, his name, like, to someone, like, even Billin knows about this, you know? They'll be like, oh my god, yeah, when is he gonna get freed? Like, he needs to be with someone his own age. Because it's, you know, he was, like, groomed, okay? He was, like, 16, 17, and she was, his, like, acting coach. So there was, like, a, you know...
There was, like, a power dynamic there.
Yeah. And she, actually, like, got pregnant from him first, I think.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wait, well, he was still underage?
Something like that. And then they got married.
What the fuck? What the hell? Wait, so they got married when he was, like, 18? King of the Monsters kicked arse. Doherty and the team cooked, bringing Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodon.
It's not Nosferatu. That's, he was in the movie, but he wasn't Nosferatu. Nosferatu is the Pennywise guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Kraven the Hunter was not Nosferatu.
No, Nosferatu is, what is his name?
Nosferatu?
Hey,
Dr. Eggman.
No, Skarsgård. What do you mean, Dr. Eggman?
No,
that's
remember,
Jim Carrey.
No, because Nosferatu looks like Eggman in the new Nosferatu movie.
But it's Bill Skarsgård.
Okay.
And I don't think Skarsgård has any teeth. He doesn't have any teeth.
Okay, he's just like a normal guy.
Yeah, but right now my favorite actor is Timothée Chalamet.
Oh yeah, we fuck with Timothée Chalamet. Like,
okay, goodbye.
Okay, that was... maybe we'll have to do that, like, every time that I stream. Get my wife to come over and give us some interesting tea.
Oh, yeah, I know all of that.
Because she, like... It'll just be, like, a movie, and there'll be, like, an obscure young actor in the movie that I've never heard. Or, I guess not obscure. Me being kind of oblivious, I don't know who that actor is. And she's like, oh, that person's crazy. Like, they come from a war-torn country and blah, 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 blah. And it's just, like, the most insane story I've ever heard in my life. King of the Monsters kicked arse. Yeah, I've got to give the MonsterVerse a shot because I was stupid and dumb and cynical.
Yeah, occasional lore drop, exactly.
Yeah, it was just like an occasional lore drop. Dude, we finally saw Dune 1 and Dune 2, and Dune 2 might be one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sorry, my religion is the son of God.
Yeah. After Timothée Chalamet's, like, declaration of, like, basically, I am taking over your religion. You all, like, throw all your rules out. You now obey me. Like, that, I was like, yeah, I'll convert. Like, I'll follow you anywhere, dude.
Yeah.
That was so powerful, that scene.
You were like the guy, like the main leader.
Yeah.
The son of God.
Yeah. Like, Rebecca and I, we were fucking silent during that whole scene. We couldn't breathe because of how intense.
So good, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm
Everyone's saying, Lisa Nakaib. Please, just... God, who's ready for Dune Messiah? I hope it's good.
called
I guess the next one. Yeah, Messiah.
Yes. Yes.
The monster designs are peak. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Godzilla looks great. The wife exposition dump. Yeah, she just like, she comes out of nowhere and it's just a huge lore drop. Vin Diesel as Ganondorf incoming. Don't say that. Sony would do something like that.
No, it's gonna be the Rock.
Yeah, The Rock as Ganondorf?
Yeah, or the fucking the guy, that other guy, the buff guy, the guy that was in Dune also, and you're like,
Oh,
what's the tea with him?
Drax the Destroyer? The buff guy? Or like,
Yeah.
oh, Drax the Destroyer. My mom was a teacher to his kid.
What?
He came to
No.
I'm not going to say the name of the
What are we talking about?
I'm not going to say the name of the school, but he came to that school to pick up his child
Wait,
from my mom's classroom. Yes,
you
the
never
actor.
told me this.
I just remembered.
What actor are we talking about?
What's his freaking name? Drax the Destroyer. I can't remember his name.
Stop.
But his kid that he had with his now ex-wife, that guy Drax the Destroyer, he seems like a very bad dad. He does not seem like a good father or a good husband.
Oh, not
But
that
that's
guy.
based on like personal experiences.
Not that guy.
Okay.
Not that guy. The other guy.
Yeah, Dave Bautista. Who was the other guy?
No, that's not who they would do.
Was the buff guy
No, Jason Momoa.
Jason? Yeah, they do something stupid. They do something stupid like make Jason Momoa Ganondorf.
I was about to say, are you saying that?
Yes, guys, my mom taught Dave Bautista's son.
Why?
Cause his ex-wife lives in this area, and she is in poverty.
What?
Well, Dave Bautista is like the star of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wait, hold on. You need to submit what do they call those a blind item.
What's a blind item?
It's like the celebrity gossip, but like
Oh, I could.
yeah. Anonymous.
So my mom, like, that ruined Dave Bautista for her. Like, she fucking hates him because of the way he just, like, abandoned his son and his ex-wife.
He doesn't even pay like alimony.
Yeah, like,
Alimony?
she does not laugh at the Drax scenes in the MCU movies anymore.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I didn't know that neighborhood lore.
Yeah, he came to the school once to pick up his son. And so it was like, she said it was, yeah. And that kid rocks. I love that kid. He had so much... I hope he's doing well. I haven't seen him in a couple of years now, but I hope he's doing well. He had really bad self-esteem issues. Dread it, run from it. Chris Pratt will voice all the characters, even females. Here, you know what, guys? Let's start looking now for Halo Combat Evolved. Big team battle. They tried to make a Halo movie. They were thinking of Tom Cruise as Master Chief. But, okay, my wife's talking some shit. She said Tom Holland's gonna be Master Chief in the movie.
I'm joking. No one said there's gonna be a Halo.
Stalin Skarsgård as Ganondorf, says Mr. Lank. Mr. Lank.
Mr. Lang?
Introducing Adam Sandler as Princess Zelda. I just want Jason Momoa to come back to Stargate. I haven't seen Stargate. My sister was super into that. Skarsgård also played Marquis in John Wick 4. John Wick 4's duel is between Shat. I haven't actually seen John Wick 4.
Oh, that's a series that we have to watch.
Yeah, I've seen John Wick 1 and 2.
We have to start from the beginning.
Okay, everybody, I am now searching Combat Evolved Big Team Battle. Yeah, I'm super worried about the Zelda movie because Sony is gonna look at the Mario movie and they're gonna be like salivating, they're gonna be like drooling, and they're gonna screw it up so bad. Just like, yeah, just oh my god.
I still don't even believe that it's real.
Yeah, like it doesn't. I mean, I guess
I don't think they're gonna make a Zelda movie.
I thought the same thing about the Mario movie when they announced that it was in pre-production, but then it's like then they announced that Chris Pratt was Mario, and I was like, I still don't believe this is gonna happen, and then it happened.
Bad.
It wasn't bad. No, it wasn't. But
I think I trust me.
but no, but Sony. This is different. Sony is baby Morbius, Madam Web, Craven the Hunter.
Zelda time.
It's gonna be Zelda time. And and Link will be speaking in the movie. He will be a voiced character, they said. I had to put up my volume because your stream is quiet. Oh, is my stream quiet? Let me turn it up. Okay, it is louder now. Hopefully it sounds good. Is anyone else having trouble finding Big Team Battle, Halo Combat Evolved? Oh, connecting session. Peter Cullen as the Deku Tree would be fire. That would be pretty awesome. Oh no. Oh my god. Optimus Prime voice actors. One of the iconic Optimus Prime voice actors right now is battling cancer. I just remembered that. The movie better start with "It sure is boring around here." Yeah. Like, I don't know. Just because it's Sony, that would almost be like worrying if it started like that. Because it would be like, oh no. Like they're gonna like make fun of Zelda. A Zelda anime would go hard. It would go hard. But they're probably just going to do what, they're probably just going to do what Illumination did with the Mario movie and make it look like a generic Pixar movie. Gary Chalk, yeah. What servers are you on? That's actually a good question. Let me make sure that I'm not, like, connected to bizarre servers. Okay. Avi Arad's involvement is what worries me most. Yeah. Yeah, that guy, he destroys whatever he touches. Isn't the movie live action? Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Is it true? Steve Buscemi is Link. Dude, Steve Buscemi, like, that's an unfortunate... Oh, man, that's an unfortunate face for that guy to have. Like, it just... Could you, like, imagine being, like, iconically ugly and weird? Like that's what people know you for, as being a really, really ugly and kind of gross guy. Oh, man. Poor Steve Buscemi. Oh, man. That poor guy. Oh, man, it's live action. Dude, we're so fucked. Oh, my God, a live action Sony Zelda movie. Oh, no. Oh, man, we are so doomed. Oh my God, we're on Blood Gulch as our first match. This is awesome, man. What the hell? Why is there people spawning? What is going on? Okay. Okay, there's already, like, nonsense happening. Which is good. This is how I like Combat Evolved to be. These production companies always gotta hire the shittiest bottom-of-the-barrel writers and producers. Always. Really makes you wonder who they're in bed with, literally and money-wise. Like, I'd freaking love to be a fly on the wall in, like, some of those, like, you know, like, meeting, like, Kraven the Hunter, R-rated movie, let's go. Like, the meeting where that idea was given the green light, I wish I could have been there. Like, how delusional were they? How, like, insanely out of touch were they? Like, Morbius, I could almost understand. Almost. Because they were probably thinking, like, Jared Leto... guy is iconic, kind of, sort of. So he's got a fan base that'll come see the movie. We'll get the 11th Doctor to play the villain, so that'll get a couple butts in the seats. And Morbius is sort of like Venom, in that he's like a guy who is tortured or afflicted by something. So we could make him into we could twist him into like a tortured anti-hero. You know, people like that. They want the fangs. They want the, like, you know, like, what am I? What have you done to me? You know, kind of like character. Madam Web, I could not tell you what happened. Like, who... I think, like, the only reason Madam Web got made was because it was, like, one of the producers And it's not even like the worst. Like, it's like I totally sympathize with what you wanted to do. It was like her lifelong passion project to make a female-led superhero movie. But like Madam Web, like the blind old lady in the chair? Like, nobody knows who Madam Web is, and the few Spider-Man fans that do know who Madam Web is think she is one of the dumbest characters. Because they hate that shit. They hate the Web of Life shit in Spider-Man lore. And then Kraven the Hunter, that's where it's like, dude, like, Kraven the Hunter is extremely lame. Very, very lame. He only worked well in a couple issues of the original Spider-Man comics. I don't care about, like, Kraven's Blast Hunt or whatever that comic was where he was wearing the black suit and I don't know, buried himself alive. What was it? No, he buried Peter Parker alive. Something stupid like I don't care. Kraven is really lame. He only worked well in a couple of issues. He's just like a dumb bad character. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to have a dumb bad character, but I don't get the value that, like, Sony saw in that character, as he needs to be leading his own movie. He needs to be a major plot point in the new Spider-Man 2 game. Like, we need to make Kraven the hot new thing. Like, nobody cares. No one likes Kraven. Kraven's just funny as, like, a couple issues where it's just, like, this weird Russian hunter who wears tiger skin wants to hunt Spider-Man like an animal. And then Spider-Man beats the snot out of him and he goes to jail. Like, the end. Sony should have done the Superior Foes. Yeah, like, man. Like, okay. I'm starting to get a little bit sick of Dr. Octopus as the sympathetic father figure that Peter never had. Like, I'm starting to get a little bit tired of that take on Dr. Octopus. Like, I think Alfred Molina killed it. I think the Insomniac Spider-Man game, they killed it, even though it was like, oh, we're doing the Alfred Molina thing, are we? I am now sick of that take on Dr. Octopus. I would like to see him back to being, like, an ego narcissist who wants to use his metal tentacles to rob banks. But that being said, a Dr. Octopus spin-off movie would have probably been more popular, and it's super weird that they didn't go with that. Electro, no. I'm sorry. Electro's not. He's just a guy who can zap people and wants to rob banks. I'm trying to... Vulture, hard no. Vulture is... Like, it's in fact a miracle that they managed to make Vulture work in Tom Holland's movie, because Vulture is such a lame villain. Like, the Sinister Six just kind of fucking sucks, dude. Like, they all suck as villains. Or they suck as main characters, I should say. What's fun about them is when they all team up to take on Spider-Man. Make sure to add this song with "Have sex, I poop my pants, I poop." Yeah, like that scene from Morbius is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe. Have you seen the scene in the Kraven the Hunter where the Rhino does the weird scream? Like, I could not believe that was real. Superior Foes is Boomerang? Who's Boomerang? Is that a Spider-Man villain? Only Venom, Black Cat. No, Black Cat is a hard no. Nobody knows who Black Cat is. Nobody cares. They know who Catwoman is. Like, they know the love interest for Bruce Wayne Batman. Nobody cares about Black Cat. Like, that is a dumb character. Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, that is a dumb character. Green Goblin, also no. No, just because Green Goblin is a Spider-Man villain. Like, so attached to Spider-Man that you can't separate them in any meaningful way. I mean, you could say the same for most of the villains, but Green Goblin most of all. You cannot remove him from Spider-Man. You know? Nobody cared about Iron Man back in 2008 or Thor. That's true. That's true. But remember, we're operating under the logic that, like, these are not competent people who will be bringing these characters to live action. These will be Sony writers and producers. So the movies will be bad. The question is, how do you trick enough people into going to see the movie before they realize that they were swindled, you know? Like, Venom was a good trick. You know, people were tricked into going to see those bad Venom movies because Venom will get butts into the seats. So it's like, who else in Spider-Man's rogues gallery can you use to trick people into going to see your bad movies? And Kraven the Hunter is not a character that you can use to trick people. Like, anybody else I would trust. I'd be like, you go ahead. Like, you know, Phase 1 Marvel, yeah, they could have figured out how to make Kraven fun. Or like an A-list character. But we're talking specifically about Sony has all of these Spider-Man villains. So I'm wondering why did they go with Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web instead of literally anybody else? Like, if I was a cynical producer who knew that, like, these movies would be shit, but we need to make a ton of money, I would not have done Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter. Morbius, I probably would have been delusional enough to think that Morbius would do fine. Like, it wouldn't have done as much as Venom, but I would have thought Morbius was a safe bet. Madam Web and Kraven, though, no. I would have, like, basically ordered them to do a Dr. Octopus spin-off movie. We really should have gotten Bruce Campbell's Mysterio. Dude, Mysterio would have been freaking awesome if it was played by Bruce Campbell. Like in the original storyboards for Spider-Man 4. Scorpion movie, but he takes drugs to trick himself into thinking he's killing bad guys, and it's a bait and switch into a... I don't know if Scorpion is strong enough as a character, to be honest. I don't think Scorpion is it. Because remember, our goal is to make money. Like, the movie will be bad. Because it's Sony. Because in this hypothetical situation, we are money-hungry, greedy, delusional Sony executives. So we've got to be tactical about which bad movies we make. Because if we make a bad movie with a bad character that has no chance of ever drawing an audience, then the movie's going to flop and we lose money, a la Kraven the Hunter. So we got to figure out how to make more Venoms, you know, like get iconic Spider-Man villains and just vomit it into a theater and make as much money as we can before people regret their purchase. Only solo villain movie I can see working is Doctor Doom. I'm not even sure about Doctor Doom, to be honest. Because Doctor Doom is just like he's just like a guy he's just like a guy with knight legs and knight hands and a mask and a green Link cape and hood. Like, Doctor Doom visually is extremely underwhelming. Like, Doctor Doom is cool, I should clarify, okay? What I'm thinking is, for people who aren't into Marvel comics, like, Doctor Doom is not a cool looking character, you know? He looks kind of lame. He looks like somebody who would challenge, like, Robin Hood to a duel in a forest. Is it cheating to say X-Men movies are half Magneto movies? No, you're kind of right. Like, I don't think a solo Doctor Doom movie enough people are interested in, no matter how good it is. Just because Doctor Doom... Like, the reason I said Dr. Octopus was because that is a visually interesting-looking character. Like, you can all... Like, it doesn't even matter if it looks like Alfred Molina or whatever. In fact, not looking like Alfred Molina could be exciting, because your mind would go crazy with, what are the tentacles going to look like in this movie? You know? Like, just the visual of a guy with 4 metal arms coming out of his back. You know, people lost their mind in the Spider-Verse movie when they did the female Dr. Octopus, because her tentacle design looked completely different. Like, it was like nothing we've ever seen before. It was like remember they were like fluid? They were like fluid-based, which was like really cool and interesting looking. So a Dr. Octopus spin-off movie could totally work, because Dr. Octopus is a visually cool character, in the same way that, like, Venom is a visually cool character. Are you sure you like Marvel? I like Spider-Man. The Avengers are kind of I'll be honest. Like, I like the MCU take on Iron Man, but I don't think I could care about the comic book version of Iron Man. And the comic book version of Thor or Loki or any of those characters. Like, I don't think that I could care about those. But I usually like the street-level characters, like Spider-Man, where their powers are just weak enough that they can, like... They couldn't save the world, but they could, like, save somebody from getting mugged or stop a bank from being robbed and stuff, you know? And they struggle with rent, or they struggle with, like, very realistic problems. Like, Iron Man is so rich that he could buy the Empire State Building, and that's not interesting to me. You know, Thor is, like, a god. That's not interesting to me. And what makes them fun in the MCU, at least, is that they are, they're played by really, really, really good actors that make me appreciate those characters in the MCU. But when you divorce them from the MCU, it's like, well, it's not played by that actor that I like. So I'm back to, like, not being invested. You like Daredevil, LNG? Yeah, Daredevil's cool. Daredevil's cool. Daredevil's like he's a lawyer who, oh my god, like, okay, yeah, like, comic books are they're pretty dumb. His father, if I remember right, his father was a criminal, and either his father was a sympathetic criminal or his father was just a sympathetic guy, period. Either way, little boy gets hit by a truck full of, like, chemicals, and because it's a comic book, those chemicals give him super hearing. And the only damage they do to him is he's blind, but that is completely canceled out because he has super hearing. So he has, like, extremely good echolocation, and in fact now he can perform better without his eyesight because of how good his hearing is. And so he is a lawyer by day, and the daredevil by night, and he goes out and fights crime and occasionally ninja syndicates in Hell's Kitchen, New York. Like, that's fun. No, Daredevil's father is not a criminal. Got it. I think I'm confusing him with Kingpin. Because I've got that scene... Yeah, it's Kingpin that I'm confusing him with. The origin story for the Kingpin from Spider-Man, the animated series, where... Oh, God, what is that ridiculous line that Kingpin said? He said something along the lines of, like, when I was a child, I was fat. Or, like, see, it's just something ridiculous like that. And Kingpin, his dad was a criminal, and he wanted to be more like his dad, so he followed his dad around, and then they were being chased by the cops, I think, and then they ran into an alley, and his dad pulled himself, like, over a fence or up onto a walkway, but because Kingpin was fat, he couldn't lift his own body weight, so Kingpin was arrested, and his father, to teach him a lesson, basically he did not buy Kingpin's freedom, and so he forced his kid to, like, grow up in jail. And then Kingpin came out of jail as a hardened man and, like, took over his father's criminal empire and, like, had his father killed. Understandable taste. I don't agree, but I love the grand cosmic stuff. Do you think a Kingpin movie could work? Oh, man. It could only work under extremely specific circumstances. Like, I think that you would have to get a legendary filmmaker that is known for, like, crime dramas. Like, God, I'm trying to like, ones that are above making superhero movies, you know, without demeaning them, is what I'm trying to say. You know, like, the kind of, like, incredibly talented filmmakers that have made movies like The Godfather. You'd have to, like, find filmmakers like that. And it would have to be an incredibly serious, down-to-earth crime drama about a mobster's rise to power. And there can be no superhero shenanigans. Like, it has to be serious. It needs to feel like it could have actually happened in the real world because of how seriously it takes itself. Yeah, like a Martin Scorsese type. Vince Gilligan, yeah. That's how I think a Kingpin... Like, it would have to be, like, a Kingpin... A movie about the Kingpin that could maybe get, like, nominated for Oscars as, like, an incredible crime drama. Like, one for the ages. Which would require very, very specific writers and directors. You couldn't just get anybody to do it. Joker? Not like Joker. Because even Joker is too... This is going to sound so weird. Joker is... Because I know, like, a lot of people like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, but Joker is too soft for the kind of movie that, like, a Kingpin movie would need to succeed. The Joker movie was too soft. And too silly. Which is crazy, because the Joker movie, there was nothing silly. silly about it, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, the level of quality we would need to reach. You'd need, basically, The Godfather. You'd have to have that level of quality. The runtime, the incredibly complicated themes, the incredibly tense, serious moments. Like, you can't have, like, can you call me Joker? You know, and I'm in the makeup. Like, you can't do that. Literally the DC Penguin show. I'll have to see the DC Penguin show, because I've heard it's good. Who cares about Kingpin, though? We already got a banger Penguin show. That's why I'm saying, like, a Kingpin movie could work, but only under... You would have to create in a blender an Oscar-winning crime drama that would be up there and like, people would be arguing for the next 50 years if it or The Godfather was better. Like, that's the kind of movie you'd have to make if you wanted a Kingpin movie to succeed. Wesley, did you know back in ancient times they'd cut the tongues out of their bodyguards on the first day of the job? You think it's horrible, don't you? Because you don't like the physical stuff. I do. What is that quoting? Is that quoting the animated series? Like Penguin? I haven't seen that Penguin show, so unfortunately I can't discuss it with you guys. Like, I can't be like, yes, exactly, because I've never seen the Penguin show. For all I know, there could be references to, like, you know, goofy superhero stuff. There could be, like, a Batmobile or, like, something that would take you out, remind you that it's a Batman show, you know? We've already got a Kingpin movie. It's called Into the Spider-Verse. See, what I'm thinking about for a Kingpin movie is, you know, the Kingpin from Daredevil? Like, the Daredevil show? Like, that is so good. Now take that and go harder, okay? Get rid of Daredevil. Get rid of drug, like, you know, superhero drug things. Like, get rid of, like, Ninja Syndicate. Like, get rid of all of that. Set it in, like, hyper-realistic, hyper-gritty New York City. And it's just Kingpin's rise to power as a Godfather-style crime drama movie. Make it like 4 hours if you need to. And you get yourself award-winning writers and old directors. You know, not like, unfortunately, Matt Reeves, you know, like, that dude is fucking great. Like, his Batman movie is great, but you need to get the old hacks that love cinema. Like Martin Scorsese. Not specifically him, because he already said he wouldn't do it, but at directors who are old of that caliber. Because they would take the concept extremely seriously, you know? Yeah, it's like, even Joker is like, it's a comic book movie. It's about the Joker. Like, this Kingpin movie, people need to, like, come out of the theater and be like, wait, what do you mean that's a Marvel movie? You know? Like, I don't want to see a damn Marvel logo at the start of it. Francis Ford Coppola just shit the bed with Megalopolis, though. Yeah, well, you know, they can't all be winners. Kingpin, played by Michael Clark Duncan from the 2003 Daredevil film. Kingpin isn't the only Marvel mobster. He could go up against the Silvermanes. Well, see, I think, like, Kingpin shouldn't go up against, you know? Like, you need... it should honestly be like a rise to power type of movie. Like, there shouldn't be, like, you know, a silly rival gang with, like, a silly name like the Silvermanes, because that's a little bit too close to comic book stuff. Like, I want to gaslight people into taking a Marvel movie extremely seriously and thinking that it's this, like, super sophisticated crime drama. But the Kingpin from that terrible Daredevil movie, was that his name? Michael Clark Duncan? The giant from Green Mile, right? Was that his name? Yeah, that was his name. I'll be honest, he was a great Kingpin. Like, that Daredevil movie is not good, but he was a great Kingpin. Oh, that was a good stretch. Okay. Oh. Here, you know what, guys? We are going to hop on over to Halo 2 Big Team Battle for a little bit, okay? People are sick and tired of the that just happened style of Marvel writing, and a super serious, no-holds-barred Marvel movie would be genuinely a breath of fresh air. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, just so goddamn, like not have, like, the most, like, edge of your seat scene in that movie be like from The Godfather, where there's just, like, a car. And then the car leaves. And, like, that was, like, the most exciting scene in the whole movie. Like, have it be like that, you know? Where it's just like a movie that takes itself extremely seriously and feels like something that could have possibly happened in the real world. Gosh, I have no idea where Rebecca went. But the wife and I, we saw Arrival, finally. And that movie is like 70% good. And then the other 30% is the stuff that does not... Like, Rebecca and I both looked at each other when they go up into the alien ship. And then Hawkeye says, "That just happened." When they see the gravity thing. We're talking about that just happened stuff. Like that humor, and I'm talking about how in Arrival that took us both out of the movie.
That just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, Arrival, now she's walking away very happy with herself. The MCU has had some terrible movies, but Phase 4 had it worse. I haven't even seen Phase 4, to be honest. The only one I saw was Spider-Man. Because I'm just like, I'm like done, you know? I think, like, when I first began to feel it, like like this feels kind of like a waste of time, like this whole movie, was seeing, okay, the first Captain America movie, I walked out of the theater being very unsatisfied with that movie and feeling like it was just a giant ad for the Avengers. And I remember telling my parents that at the time. I was like, that like wasn't great. That movie felt just kind of like it was telling me to go see the Avengers when it finally comes out. And then I remember being bored during Thor 2, but like Loki was entertaining enough that I was fine with it. The next time I felt like this is sort of a waste of time was Doctor Strange. I just remember like them just like running across like buildings that were like doing crazy stuff, and just something wasn't connecting. Something wasn't working, and I can't articulate what it was, but the movie wasn't working for me, and I was kind of like bored. Like, I thought Doctor Strange could have been done better. And then I was about to say Captain America again. Captain Marvel, I remember being also kind of like, what? Like, this is like an obligatory superhero movie almost. Like, it's going through the motions. There's not a single bone in this movie's body that is remotely interesting. And then, you know, Endgame was done, and I was like, wow, that was awesome. It finally paid off. And then I saw Spider-Man as, like, my epilogue. And then I was done. You know? No, Ant-Man 2. That was also a waste of time. Ant-Man 2 was a big fat waste of time. I don't know if Marvel has any superheroes with Batman-esque backstories of parents killed by criminals, but it would be cool if this Kingpin film had such a scene. Yeah, like, because I'm thinking of, like, that scene from the animated Spider-Man show from, like, the 90s. You know, like, that story of, like, Kingpin, his own father, like, lets him grow up in a prison cell, and then he hardens into this mobster badass, and then comes back, takes over his father's criminal empire, and then, like, has his father offed. Like, that, you could do something really, like, really, really dramatic and really serious with that premise. And really gritty as well. Like, it would make for a really good crime drama. LNG, what's your favorite anime? Does the Pokémon show count? I don't really watch anime. There's some anime that I like, you know? Like, but I haven't finished a lot of what I've started. I really liked, Spy X Family. That was a lot of fun, the episodes that I saw of that. I like the dog. And the little kid. War in the Pocket is pretty good. Dude, I'm gonna watch Gundam, like, this year. It's gonna happen. Like, I have a feeling I'm gonna really, really, really like Gundam. Have it portrayed as this quick, somewhat routine hit whacking, like in The Irishman, with the significance only coming to light on a focused rewatch. Yeah, like, that's the stuff I'm thinking of for a supposed, you know, hypothetical king. Yeah, you're on the same, you're thinking the same wavelength as me. That's what I'm thinking of. Like, one of those movies that are heavy and you need to, like, rewatch them, and you see on a rewatch that it was explained to you. Gundam is great. Yeah, Gundam seems like a lot of fun. Pikachu. I was about to say Pikachu. Pokemon has 25 seasons with Ash and Pikachu. So yes, it counts. Yeah, I freaking like. Dude, Pokemon. Rebecca and I tried watching the new Pokemon series, and it kind of blows, which sucks to say. Like, and to be fair, I also watched, like, a later season of the Pokemon anime with Ash and Pikachu, and that also, unfortunately, kind of blue. And I think the fun of Pokemon, which this is the unfortunate thing about what makes it fun, because it's very, very repetitive, which means the show would get boring very quickly. But unfortunately, it's the best thing about it is, like, every episode is Ash finding a new Pokemon and becoming friends with the Pokemon. And he's like, wow, what's that? And then he takes out his Pokedex, and it's like, that is Fuckface, the Fuckface Pokemon. And he's like, I'm gonna catch it with my Pokeball. And then, like, maybe the trainer comes out, it's like, no, don't hurt Fuckface. He grows trees with his tree-growing attack. And then Team Rocket comes and, you know, they're like, that Fuckface would make the boss very happy. And then they try to steal Fuckface with, like, their balloon. And then Ash needs to save Fuckface, and then they're all friends in the end. You know? And then next episode, same thing happens, but with a new Pokemon type. Like, that's just the fun of the Pokemon show. So when it begins, like, diverting into, like, I don't know, the new Pokemon show, it was just like, where's the new Pokemon that this episode is going to focus on? And that never happened. It was just like the mystery of, I need to get to this place, and it's like, no, just, like, have an adventure. Like, stop with this. Like, just go on an adventure with a Pokedex and find weird new Pokemon to index, you know? Ash Ketchum being 10 years old throughout the entire anime was jarring in a funny way. Yeah, Ash was, he was 10 years old for, like, 30 years, dude. like, I think it's safe to say at this point that kid was a professional 10-year-old. He has retired from being 10. I heard my wife, I think, giggle in the bathroom. So I don't know what she was giggling at. Inuyasha hits different at night. I have never seen Inuyasha, but that's like the guy in the red pajamas with the really long white hair and the cat ears, right? Like, that dude is a core memory, because Inuyasha would play before Sonic X. So I'd usually be up just early enough that I caught the ending of an episode of Inuyasha. And I had no clue what was going on. Yeah, only then you realize they killed Ben Parker. Ah. So, okay. I don't want there to be a moment in this Hypothetical Kingpin movie where a bunch of Marvel nerds, like, whisper to each other, like, oh my god, that was Matt Murdock, that was Daredevil. You know, like, I don't want that. So Ben Parker would be too, like, a nerd would gasp in the theater. Like, I want it to be like an up its own ass, like, serious drama that only references the wider like, Marvel universe if it absolutely has to. But for the most part, it feels like it would take place in the real world. And I'd be worried that, like, Ben Parker it would break the illusion of it being an Oscar-winning, like, movie. If they reference, like, Spider-Man, you know? God, we're back to Marvel. Nerd whispers. Oh my god, it's Glup Shitto. What is Glup Shitto? I've heard that reference before. Is that like a real thing, or is that just is that like the character, the name that we give to, like, reference characters? Like, oh my god, did you see that? That was Glup Shitto in the background. I really enjoyed the One Piece live action, though. I thought that the kid playing, or I shouldn't say kid. I think he's like fucking older than me. I don't know. The guy who was playing Luffy was fucking great. Like, he absolutely mopped the floor. Like, beautiful. But other than that, I got extremely bad, like, cosplay vibes from that show. Like, it just didn't seem good. Or like a useful... It didn't seem like a worthwhile show to be watching, I guess. Like, the fucking guy with the metal lower jaw, I just, like, I look at the character from the anime, and I haven't seen One Piece at all, by the way. And it's like, that character is so insanely exaggerated that it cannot be translated into live action without extreme creative tweaks. Because, like, even the metal lower jaw, like the Iron Giant style metal jaw, but on a flesh human, like, that can only look good as, like, a hand-drawn character, you know, with stylized proportions. So seeing, like, that fucking doofus in live action with that, like, rubber, like, I can see his teeth. Like, his lower jaw is still there, like, and he just, like, he looks so silly. And not in, like, a good way. Like, like, come on, man. Like, have self-respect. Why are you wearing that? Like, take off that stupid jaw thing. Take off the dumb, like, arm thing. Like, put on some real clothes. Like, treat yourself with some self-respect, dude. Why are you wearing that dumb costume? Next thing, LNG will tell us that he watched the live-action Avatar show and say it was good. Oh, no. No, I have too much respect for the Avatar show. I have not seen any of the live-action takes on Avatar, because for the same reason, where it's like, don't. Aang's a cartoon character. And I don't say that as in, like Japanese cartoons. Like, I mean that as in, like, just don't do that. The reason Avatar worked so well is because it was designed specifically for the animated format. You can't just slap that into live action. It doesn't matter how faithfully you've recreated the costumes or how faithfully you redid the action sequences. Like, they're bound by the laws of physics and weight. You can't stylize. So inherently you are losing something if you're trying to faithfully adapt it into live action. Dude, I'm in a match with you. Hi, cutie pie. Oh, it's sleeper time. Yeah, guys, this is going to be the final match for the night, okay? It's a sleeper time. Yeah, it's just like as I've... Not even as I've gotten older. I don't like live action adaptations of animated stuff anyway, because it's like, well, you've already lost the point. The reason that original thing existed is because the ability to make it in animation gives it life. Like, they weren't, like, stupid, you know? They weren't just like, we don't know how people work. We have to do it with cartoons. Like, no, they specifically chose animation because it was the only way to really give this piece of media soul, the soul that it needed. I can't watch the live-action Last Airbender movie without laughing at every time somebody mispronounces Aang's name. Well, that was just stupid. They were trying to make it seem more mystical by taking Aang's name and making it like, no, like that's the American way. It's culturally Ong. It's like, fuck, like, shut up. Shut your fucking mouth. Like, it's, like, God, you guys are so dumb.
1 minute remaining.
It's like literally taking something that, like, no, like, his name is Aang. It is Aang. And just being like, we gotta make it seem more mystical. Can we pronounce it foreign? Like, just some boneheaded producer. Thinking that, like, yeah, this will be awesome. Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, I'm talking about the Netflix adaptation, but the bad 2010 movie is also in my sights too. Oh, do they call him Ong in the Netflix live action show too? Because that's pretty stupid. Yeah, Avatar's pretty great. Oof, excuse me. And the Fire Nation were all India. Yeah, just like really, really odd creative choices. Oh, look, it's the frickin' light that casts dynamic shadows. Look at that. Suddenly, the bump maps pop on the character model. A dynamic, pixel-perfect shadow is cast. Well, I mean, not pixel-perfect. It's pixel-perfect to the light source. So the reason that the shadow has pixelation is because the light source is far enough away from my character model that this is how it sees my character model. Like, it can see the pixely edges of it, but yeah. It's pretty cool, right? Imagine if Halo 2 always looked like that. I don't know. I never watched it, but my main gripes were the blatant whitewashing. Yeah, that's just. I don't think it can be done. Just keep it animated. You know, that's my life advice. You know, that's what I say. You know, like, hey kid, you know, keep it animated. Bro, if only all of Halo 2's lights were like that. Well, once upon a time, it wasn't just the lights, it was the sun itself. Like, it was all the lights and the sun. Like, could you imagine stepping out into the sunlight and you also get those pixel-perfect shadows and stuff? My team is bad. Yeah, we're not doing great. We're playing Capture the Flag like Slayer. Also, I'm of the opinion that I think Capture the Flag could only really work in like a LAN setting for big teams, and for online play, 2v2. Missed. Oh, damn it, I missed something. Okay. Missed. Also, I completely forgot about this Blazer combo I initiated. I personally make it a separate set piece / level contextual piece of equipment. Yeah, that can work too. Like, just having it as this broad sandbox thing potentially could create problems. I'm surprised the Pokemon anime didn't have wild Pokemon that just didn't care for the rules of engagement and went right for their trainer to murk them. Like wild Pokemon? Because so this is like me as a kid. I've always interpreted that the Pokeball, like when they actually capture a wild Pokemon, that red light that like transfers the Pokemon into their Pokeball, it does something to their brain that modifies their personality to be more friendly towards the trainer. Which is like, you know, that sounds like terrible. That sounds awful. But in the world of Pokemon, like Pokemon does not present it as like an animal abuse thing. And the Pokemon seem no worse for wear. So I do not like or subscribe to the like, the Pokemon's really screwed up if you think about it. You know, like let's shut up. The Pokemon seem fine. They seem to actually genuinely enjoy it. They seem to really like their trainers. They seem to really like their Pokeballs. Like, just shut up. It's like those, like, have you seen the theory that SpongeBob actually was dead the whole show and lived in purgatory? It's like, go fuck yourself. Shut up. Just enjoy it, dude. You're not cool. Gosh, that was a terrible 2 grenade throws. CTF is the worst Halo game mode. Changed my mind. I don't think it's the worst Halo game mode, but it's the most difficult one to get players to play correctly. And that's why I think limiting the player count to 2v2 for Capture the Flag, like, if you're going to be searching for 2v2 modes, you're not going to be like, I want to run around to get, like, you know, Slayer. Like, I want to get a multi-kill. Like, you are signing up for a slower-paced experience. One where you have a lot of time to think about what's going on around you, because there's only 2 enemies, and you got 1 buddy. So that's why Capture the Flag, I think, works really well in 2v2, because the mode is slow-paced enough that you are going to be looking at that flag constantly. Where this is just like, it's too fast-paced for, like, casual players, you know? We're talking about the stupid theories in children's cartoons where it's like the character was dead the whole time or in hell the whole time. Yeah, and after this match, baby, I'm gonna hop off and we're gonna get Cozy Town. I love you. They really enjoyed your lore. So next time that I stream, you gotta drop us a crazy. Unironically, there are a couple of people that believe in the Ash is in a coma theory. Yeah, those people are stupid. Those people want Pokemon to be something that it's just not. And that's okay. $200,000 subs and LNG gets Rebecca a mic. Oh, don't think I wouldn't get her one regardless. That's on the bucket list. We need to get her a mic. Not even that. Why go through the whole Pokemon battle rigmarole when I can just to a Fury when I can just get to a Fury by pointing at my phone saying Gengar possess that guy? Just you saying it out loud, it's like, yeah, Gengar, possess that guy. Finish Half-Life 2, LOL. Saw my docket. Do a Fury. Gotcha. Yeah, what I'm more curious about in the world of Pokemon, is why the wild Pokemon aren't I mean, I know why they aren't. It's because that's not what Pokemon is. But kind of like how I'm like, okay, the Pokeball does something to pacify the Pokemon and make them really like their catcher. What with wild Pokemon, why aren't they more... Well, I guess they are violent just because of the type of thing that Pokemon is. Like, they're not going to, like, peck somebody to death, you know? Like, a sparrow isn't going to maul a little kid. But... Okay, I guess I answered my own question. Like, yeah, they are violent, you know? You always see in the show, like, get away! It's a wild Taurus! I caught Sonic in a Pokeball. I don't think Sonic would go into a Pokeball. Because he's not a Pokemon. Like, it seems like biologically there's something about specifically Pokemon. Because, like, if you throw, like, a Pokeball at a person, it's not going to do anything. So I'd assume the logic would apply to everything that isn't a Pokemon. And Sonic is most definitely not a Pokemon. Pikachu, charge my phone. I think Pikachu would destroy your phone. Because, like, you can't just, like, zap your phone with electricity and now... Like, it's not like Iron Man, you know, the scene in Avengers where Thor summons a bunch of lightning and Iron Man's suit absorbs all of it and now he has, like, 200% or whatever. Like, it's not like that. Like, if you put too much electricity into your phone, it's just going to explode. Or short circuit. Like, a charger converts the electricity into, like, an amp that your phone can, like, accept. Like, I think if it's like, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! Like, your phone would just be atomized. Nah, you just get Drifloons abducting kids. Yeah, that's fucking wild that Drifloons just, like, sometimes your child floats away with a Drifloon and you never see it again. Yeah, there's a couple of weird... I do love that aspect of Pokemon, that it's the stuff that isn't explored, but it implies that there's a crazier culture within the Pokemon world. GG, LNG. Aw. Ounce is fat. That was good, even though we did absolutely nothing to help our team. Like, that was still fun. Alternating current to direct current. Yep. My phone is built different, says Meep Stick. Meep Stick, I'll be honest, I don't think your phone is built different, dude. Like, it's cool that you're that confident, but I think a Thunder Strike from a Pikachu would absolutely toast your phone. Okay? So don't try it. Who said, is Scooby-Doo neutered in Halo chat? I'll be honest, Scooby-Doo probably is. Oh, man. Okay, guys. I shall see you all later, okay? Thank you, everybody, for partaking. This was a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys later, okay? I'm working on a video about ladders in Halo. Ladders.